cubicles back and forth. What am I? Aha! Now, where to from here? Obviously, this was not the end goal. And that's where I came from. Was this really just all a diversion? Like, there was no point to come over here except for that gift basket? I'm all for secret areas and things. Especially if they get you killed because you suck at jumping. But that's kind of a long way to go for a secret area. Yeah, and they had it labeled. I should have known. Must aim for the center. Good enough. Is there something there? Oh yeah, pig's not that way. Alright. And we have... I don't know what. And keyhole. Ooh, are these rocks? Nope, they're real. Yeah. Okay. Can't trust everything you see, I suppose. That could be called a moral in this game. I guess that would be it. Oop. Aha! Thought that was a little weird. Hooray! Teeth for upgrades that really aren't necessary, but they are because you won't be able to kill anything otherwise. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that mechanic. I mean, I like the upgrading weapons, but couldn't they just make the weapons look like our dress and shift over time? And then you wouldn't have to worry about making enemies super insanely beefy. Apparently those aren't enemies. Those are just seahorses. Barrel bottom.
What lies beneath this patina of civility? Something wicked, I'll wager.
Did that warrant a hotkey? He could have just said that. Is that a fish with a mustache? No, the fish doesn't have a mustache. Still, it's a fish with a top hat. That makes him awesome. Those are some creepy looking teeth. This whole area is amazing. Greetings, sir. Yes, quite. Oh. Oh, when you asked about what lies beneath, you were very serious. Aha. Just die already. Thank you. Very kind of you. It seems like beyond just going through the levels, though, there's not much point to these offshoots. You don't find that many memories. I say as I find a
Most
memory.
theatricals and gaffs are unsuitable for young persons. Punch and Judy dust-ups are no more than vulgar domestic arguments.
And they're not even really interesting ones. Like, okay, learn about her family and her life and all that sort of stuff. That's great, but you know, I'm interested about the history of the actual incident and Alice herself and all that. I don't know. And it seems like a lot of time could have been saved by not having, by making those just things that were said as you walked along, or things that were just on the beaten path. I'm all for exploring, but exploring just for exploring's sake doesn't work in a game like this, I don't think. Something like Oblivion or Skyrim or even Minecraft, just, it's an open world. You expect to be able to wander around wherever the hell you want. This is a puzzle platformer, a fairly linear one. Exploring just wastes time at that point. Isn't this where no, guess it's not where it just was. Alright, time for another snail then. And I believe I will be cutting this off as soon as oh god, what?
There's no time at all.
Can I? Well, I mean, I could try. Oh, no, you aim-botting son of a... How much time do I have to survive? Is this actually a kill-them-all situation? Or do I just run in circles? Ah, it's good to see the Hatter again, though. Let's just analyze that model. Oop, no, I'm being closed in on. Ah. The Hatter is just pretty much the most awesome character in this game, design-wise. They probably want me to kill them all. Oh yeah, it was just survive the X amount of time.
Come, Alice, don't dawdle. You've already missed the train.
Why are your eyes like a bird's, pointing directly sideways? So creepy. I imagine, though, if there were enemies with more range to their attacks, that type of challenge would be more difficult. I believe I've seen that later on there are, like, samurai wasp ant dudes, and those would be hard to get away from. It's just a bottle. What is the point of the bottles? What is the purpose of the goggles? And I'm not the type who would be running through a situation like that going, oh yeah, I get to stare at her ass all day. But even if I was, there's not much to stare at on Alice. Just, you know, thought I'd throw that out there. Not to say she's a bad-looking model, I mean, yeah, you know, supposed to be a, what, teen, slightly post-teen girl, Victorian age. Yeah, but, yeah. I guess it's for the best that they did not sex appeal her up or anything. But, it just makes those walks through the tiny little corridors wastes of time. I realize they want to incorporate this mechanic, but, yeah. For what? That is the only question. What? Ah! Why are there baby-armed jellyfish? Sorry, why are there a-faced jellyfish? Unfortunately, that doesn't count as a kill as far as I know. I may have been wrong. Oh god. Hit on targets. Nope, it's not on targeting. So it's probably still alive down there, just waiting to come back up. Come on, poke your freakish baby face out. I need to shoot it off. Oh, geez, that was out of jumps. That could have ended very badly. You know, I think I have a defense for my, I don't like this exploring argument I was making earlier. Let's compare to, say, Spyro. The Spyro games were really fun, but they had lots of exploring in them. Okay, so what did you explore for? You explored to find the orbs, or gems, or eggs, or whatever. And what did those do? Well, the gems let you go to moneybags, who would let you buy upgrades which were entirely new abilities, rather than just slightly more power on the ones you have. And the eggs or orbs or whatever else would unlock new levels, which you could then continue to explore. There was a point to collecting. In this, the teeth let you upgrade your weapons, but they don't do anything new. They just look fancier and technically do more damage. But how often does that actually matter? And then you get the bottles, which as far as I can tell do absolutely nothing. I do not see the purpose of the bottles whatsoever. And you find the memories, half of which are really interesting lore things, and the other half are just tiny little, like, snippets that affect why things exist.
And the rest of her skin was as brittle as carp scales.
There. What was the point of that? Okay, she was in a fire. Yes. Did we need to know she was third-degree burned and her skin was as brittle as carp scales? When is that going to come up? Are we going... Is that why there are fish here? Is that the only reason there are fish here? Because of that one comment that she apparently subconsciously overheard at some point in her life? There's just no point to it. I don't like these guys either. But that's more of just they're a pain to fight than, like, they shouldn't exist or anything. I mean, yeah, these kind of delayed combat guys are good in large combats because they force you to swap targets around. But when you're fighting them alone, well, why? Why would you fight them alone? You end up sitting around, doing nothing. My complaints with this series grow, but... Well, not series, but this game. And honestly, I'm not sure they were complaints that the fans of the original didn't have. I worded that sentence poorly, but I think you know what I mean. The original series had exploration because it was very puzzle-oriented. And so, you know, this door is locked, well, what do you have to do? You have to go up 3 floors through a door and flip a couple levers in a certain sequence to accomplish what needs doing. This one, if you go up those 3 floors and through a small keyhole, what do you get? Well, some teeth, a bottle, and maybe a small snippet about Alice's family life. Hello, amazing fish people. God, they're awesome. Yes, I can fault this game for many things. The actual aesthetic design is not one of them. My keyboard screwing up is something I can fault. Well, partially the keyboard, partially it seems like if I'm holding down a key when the loading screen happens, it'll think I still am afterwards. Is that the walrus? I was gonna go collect the gold bottle because shiny thing. Shiny thing.
Ah, Alice! Delighted to see you again, my dear. Your arrival is filled with fortunatality itself.
Really? I didn't even know...
Never mind. My pregnant show is about to pop. It requires only a medicament of your help velocity.
I don't have much experience.
Barnum,
but I do
you're back.
need to reconstruct my...
We can barter. Have a nice screwdriver, nearly new, or a nice hammer if you're
There's a
more
train
interested.
that's corrupting Wonderland, and I'm looking for help to restrain or destroy it.
Most vexatious, no doubt, will address that monstrosity directly. That's to say, eventually. Now, let's intermediate more important matters. Due to a logisterical foul-up, some of the show's requisites need to be gathered.
Really, a fetch quest?
The munificent script needs fetching. The writer's overly imaginative and exploring several endings. Then you'll need to assemble the show's tune-deft music. And finally, gather our stars! The show's tasteful performers. You should leave now. The essentiality of haste is essential.
It hardly seems you're ready for the show. Why can't you assemble these things yourself?
An impresario has arrangements. Ducks in a row, fish to fry, calls to Newcastle, etc., etc. Fetch the script from the writer, then we can batter or clatter or natter, as the case may be.
Is the writer cantankerous?
To a personage of your distinguished repudiation, I blush at the notionality. He's an octopus, by the by. Lives over that way. Ta-ta.
Okay, so, after the awesomeness of the Hatter and the slightly diminished awesomeness of the March Hare and Dormouse, though their lines are pretty great, I like this guy. He reminds me of Barnum from Fable, and all those other kind of throw syllables onto words type people. You know, people unlike me. I just fail at words in general. However, I think that is a good calling point, or stopping point. Place to call it, you know what I mean. So, first of all... No, I want to beat the walrus with a hammer! No! Fine. In that case, I will leave it here, and next time we will go about collecting the items for the play. That time we had a good fetch quest, right? Yeah. Well, I will see you folks later. Thanks for watching.